Good evening, friends. This is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multi asset and multinational hedge fund. By multi asset, I mean we actively covering multiple assets like gold, silver, platinum, palladium, agriculture commodities, base metals, foreign exchange, and many more asset classes. By multinational, I mean we cover our positions at three locations, which is United States, European Union, and Asia Pacific region. But having said that, and I repeated many a times in my video that we are a proprietary hedge fund. By proprietary, I mean to say no third party, I repeat, no third party can invest capital in our funds. Treasury Consulting and none of the subsidiaries of Treasury Consulting is asking from any third party to invest money in our fund. Please do take a note of that. On time to time basis, our YouTube channel covering the so-called startup story across the globe. Of course, we will have deliberate video in that regards, but I hope you are chasing FTX. Yesterday, FTX filed for bankruptcy in United States, and according to the various articles we have on the internet, authenticity is really a big issue, but few articles claim that the liabilities in the book of FTX is to the tune of 10 billion to 50 billion dollars. 10 billion to 50 billion dollar, which is definitely a big number. Let it be very honest, which is a big number. Of course, as the time would progress, we will see what would happen and what would not happen. I am keeping a very strict eye on FTX, reading a lot of articles on the internet, accumulating the data, and making videos in that regards. I hope you would have heard two big names in educational technologies known as Udemy and Coursera. Two big names. They regularly do their advertisement on respective social platforms. And I'm always a strong believer that advertisement is not a success of your organization. That's very important. History is witness that many organizations who spend billions, millions on advertisement, they flunked, and you know what had happened. The latest example is FTX. Coursera is an EdTech platform, basically educational technology, which means that somebody make a course, he upload on Coursera website as per their guidelines, and then somebody wanted to purchase that course, he will visit the website, pay whatever $10, $20, whatever the fees. Some part of the fees goes to that relevant author, rest go to Coursera, and he can see the course online. Some course have tests, some do not. Rest is all certification. This is a whole process. More or less, the whole AgTech world follow the same process. More or less, you can say. And I regularly track Coursera. You would be very pleased to know that a couple of days ago, Coursera came in public domain, and the CEO of Coursera made it very clear that due to the uncertain economic condition, I think now we should start deliberating what the hell is uncertain economic condition, because this is really very important now, because everyone started using this word. Just like couple of around 4 years ago, people were using disruption. These startups are doing disruption. Yes, I completely agree. Paytm, Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, Policy Bazaar, Lenskart, Delivery, Oyo, FTX, Celsius, Bobagir, these all startups made disruption, but not in the world of technology, not in the world of innovation, in the world of losses. They are competing with each other that who posts the higher losses and so on and so forth. Coursera is also not different in that regards. If you visit their website, you will get the data, and this data is not a proprietary data. Proprietary in the sense like this is a highly confidential data. You can't have an access of that. It's right on their website. Yes, you should understand how to study the financial report. That's very important. And unfortunately, majority of the people have, rather I say, barely having an understanding in reading the financial report. As of December 2021, Coursera net loss, called PAT, profit after tax, also called bottom line in our regards, is 145 million. Guys, note all figure are in US dollars. I repeat, all figure are in US dollars. So 2021 Coursera reported a losses of 145 million dollar terms, while in 2020 they reported 67 million US dollars. So congratulations to Coursera because their losses are more than the double. It is more than the double because in 2020 you reported 67 million. In 2021 you reported 145 million. It means your losses are more than double. This is called the business model, and I always appreciate that business model. Because on paper, you doing advertisement, you doing interviews, the corrupt media is promoting you, no one talking about your losses, auditors, I will come later, but the end reality is that you are posting losses after losses every passing year. I repeat, losses after losses every passing year. The story not ends here, rather the story begins from here. Story is not ending here, rather story is starting from here because in financial year 20 you reported losses worth 66.8 million, financial year 21 145 million. In the first 3 quarters of 2022, because the fourth quarter is yet to come, in the quarter 1, 38.26 million, quarter 2, 49.33 million, quarter 3, 36 million, precisely 123 million US dollars, precisely, which means again in 2022 the losses would at least be what we had in 2021 or probably more than 2021. It means on a sequential basis, that would be the right word, on a sequential basis, Coursera is declaring the losses. On a sequential basis, Coursera is declaring the losses. The very important thing that hits me, and you know that I am a person of statistics, I always value statistics, I always love statistics, and all these things. The very, I would say that hits me is your so-called accumulated losses. In India, we call this negative retained earnings, but in US parlance, we call this accumulated net losses. Point is same. You would be very surprised to know that accumulated deficit is 488 million US dollars. Congratulations. 488 million US dollars. And if I add 124, then I am reaching approximately 600 million US dollars. It means I accumulated losses as we speak, as of quarter 3rd, 2022, since the inception of the company. I accumulated losses at least 600 million US dollars. 600 million US dollars. This is called the EdTech model of 2022. This is called a model of success. If you visit the website of Coursera, you able to download the annual report, which in US parlance is known as 10K. You would be very surprised to know that the auditor of Coursera is none other than the Deloitte. You can easily see that Deloitte is the auditor of Coursera. And as we speak, mathematically speaking, Coursera accumulated near about 120, around $600 million worth of accumulated losses. On quarter basis, Coursera is incurring losses, and I don't need, I think, to tell you the share price of the Coursera. There is a concept called going concern. Now, what is that? Well, what is going concern? Going concern means that it is whether the company is in a situation to move on or not. That's very important. This is called going concern. Guys, you would be very surprised to know that Coursera as of April 2021, which means not far, their share price was near about $54, you can say, US dollars. Please take a note of that. 54 US dollars. And as we speak, it is around 14 US dollars. 14. It means around 30% of, I'm giving you approximate figures, just 30% of what it was, which means since April 2021, and today, which is around 12th November 2022, share price collapsed by approximately 70%. Approximately 70%. Accumulated losses is at least $600 million. The company is cutting jobs. I'm not saying, the CEO himself said in the public. You can check Google. Can we trust on Deloitte? That company is a going concern. That's more important thing. Especially when the Deloitte credentials are doubtful. Very recently, Securities and Exchange Commission, United States, fined Deloitte China regarding auditing practices to the tune of 20 million US dollars. You heard me right. Please check on the Google yourself. Deloitte China very recently fined around 20 million US dollars by Securities and Exchange Commission as far as their auditing practice is concerned. 20 million. And Coursera auditor is Deloitte, and the stock crashed approximately 70% in the last effective April 2021. Can we trust the Deloitte report? I am telling you, we cannot trust the Deloitte report. As simple as that. We cannot trust the Deloitte report. Especially when the Deloitte credentials are always doubtful. This is me covering Coursera. To conclude, the EdTech model worldwide, not only in India but worldwide, collapsed. Whether this is Coursera, whether this is so-called Byju's, Unacademy, Vedantu, and several startups collapsed. There is no counting of that, no one keeping any data of that. We don't have any data about that, to be very honest and precise. And still, we are trusting these auditors and their audited report. Anyways, this side Rahul Magan here. You knew my personal number. +91 9899 242 978. In case you want more information about treasury consulting, please do visit our fixed income platform www.fixedincome.global. www.fixedincome.global. Thank you very much, guys, and have a great time ahead.